What if the feeling that everything is pointless is not a failure of your mind, but a signal? What if despair is not depression, but perception sharpened too far for a sick civilization? You wake up one day, and the world no longer convinces you. Money feels imaginary, careers feel absurd, politics feels theatrical, religion feels inherited rather than discovered. And suddenly you're standing naked before the mystery, asking the most dangerous question a human can ask. What is this all for? Civilization has no answer. But consciousness does. There comes a moment in life, often quietly, without warning, when the machinery of meaning collapses. The stories stop working. You can still go to your job, still smile, still participate, but inside something ancient begins to whisper, this cannot be it. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. This is not failure. This is the sound of culture losing its grip on your imagination. Because meaning is not produced by society, it is imposed by it. And when that imposition cracks, you experience what modern psychology calls emptiness. But emptiness is the wrong word. It is silence after propaganda. We are born into an operating system we did not design, a system that tells us who we are before we've had a chance to feel it. It hands us roles: student, worker, citizen, consumer, and for a while this simulation functions beautifully, until one day, usually after loss, heartbreak, exhaustion, or simply too many nights staring at the ceiling, the question erupts, why am I doing any of this? Not how, not when, but why. And culture panics when you ask that, because culture has no philosophical foundation, only momentum. Terence McKenna often said that modern society is a collectively agreed upon hallucination, not because it's fake, but because it is symbolic. Money is a symbol, time is a symbol, status is a symbol, nationality is a symbol. And symbols only work as long as we believe in them. When belief collapses, the entire structure begins to feel hollow. That hollowness you feel is not personal, it is historical. We are living at the end of an era, not metaphorically, actually. The myth of endless progress is dying. The myth of infinite growth is dying. The myth that technology will save us from ourselves is dying. And the psyche feels this long before the intellect does. You feel pointless because the story you were promised no longer aligns with reality. The ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Here is the brutal truth no one tells you. Meaning cannot be found inside systems designed to extract your energy. Civilization is not here to fulfill you. It is here to perpetuate itself. And when your inner compass begins to rebel against that, you experience existential nausea, a kind of spiritual vertigo. You're not broken. You're waking up inside a machine. The mistake is believing that life must come prepackaged with meaning. That meaning should be obvious, that someone else should have figured it out already. But meaning is not discovered. It is generated, and consciousness is the generator. McKenna believed that the universe is not a thing. It is an event, not a noun, a verb, something happening, and you are not in it. You are it, temporarily localized. The universe looking at itself through nervous systems made of stardust and fear. When everything feels pointless, it may be because you've mistaken the map for the territory. The instructions for the experience are not the experience. We were never meant to live like this, separated from nature, bombarded by information, measured by productivity, disconnected from mystery. Our ancestors danced with chaos. We schedule it between emails. No wonder the soul feels starved. Modern life offers stimulation but not revelation, entertainment but not ecstasy, information but not wisdom. So the psyche grows restless. It begins to hunger not for pleasure, but for significance, not success, but participation in something vast. Here is the radical idea McKenna whispered to those willing to listen. Meaning does not come from controlling life. It comes from engaging the mystery. The universe is not asking you to dominate it. It's asking you to converse with it. Through art, through curiosity, through love, through language, through wonder. When life feels pointless, it may be because you've stopped asking questions that don't have answers. Society trains us to fear uncertainty, but uncertainty is where consciousness expands. Certainty is the coffin of imagination. The unknown is not your enemy. It is the womb of novelty. And novelty, McKenna believed, is what the universe is actually doing, creating ever more complex forms of itself. From quarks to cells, from cells to brains, from brains to thoughts, from thoughts to dreams. You are not meaningless. You are the cutting edge of cosmic experimentation. The problem is not that life has no meaning. The problem is that we expect meaning to behave like a possession, something you acquire, something you secure, something that stays. But meaning is not stable. It's dynamic. It emerges when you are fully engaged with becoming. Think about moments when life didn't feel pointless, not because things were easy, but because you were present. Moments of awe, love, creation, laughter so deep it hurt, silence so profound it felt alive. Those moments didn't explain life, they justified it. The universe does not owe you clarity, it offers experience. And experience is enough if you stop demanding conclusions. The caterpillar does not understand the butterfly, yet transformation occurs anyway. McKenna warned that we are a culture addicted to answers, but answers end conversation. Questions open doors. And consciousness thrives on open doors. When everything feels pointless, perhaps the old questions have died, and new ones are waiting. Instead of asking, what's the point? Ask, what wants to happen through me? Instead of asking, where am I going? Ask, what am I becoming? Instead of asking, why does nothing matter? Ask, what have I stopped caring about, and why? You are not here to complete a checklist. You are here to participate in novelty, to surprise the universe with your interpretation of being, your art, your insight, your compassion, your defiance, your refusal to become numb. The greatest lie of modern culture is that meaning must be grand, that it must change the world. But meaning is fractal. Small acts echo infinitely. A conversation alters a life. A kindness alters a trajectory. A thought alters a future. You do not need a destiny. You need aliveness. McKenna often said, nature loves courage, not recklessness. Courage, the courage to live without guarantees, to love without certainty, to explore without permission, to think thoughts that scare institutions. Feeling pointless is dangerous, but also sacred, because it means the old myth has died. And myth death always precedes myth birth. You are between stories, and that space is terrifying, but it is also where shamans are forged. Artists are born. Revolutions of consciousness begin. Do not rush to fill the void. Do not numb it. Do not medicate it away with distraction. Sit with it. Listen. The void speaks. And what it says is this: you are not here to consume meaning. You are here to create it. The universe is unfinished, and you are one of its experiments. It does not ask you to succeed. It asks you to participate honestly, to remain curious, to resist cynicism, to choose wonder over despair again and again. Meaning is not found at the end of the road. It is generated by walking. Purpose is not revealed, it is enacted. And when everything feels pointless, perhaps the cosmos is whispering, stop following maps drawn by dead people. Stand naked before the mystery. Admit you don't know. And in that humility, that terrifying openness, life rushes back in, not with answers, but with electricity. When everything feels pointless, do not assume life has failed you. Assume the illusion has cracked. You are not lost. You are unprogrammed, not empty, but unscripted. Meaning does not descend from the sky. It rises from engagement, curiosity, courage, and awe. The universe is not waiting for you to understand it. It is waiting for you to participate. So if nothing makes sense right now, good. That means you are finally close enough to the mystery to begin living.